Zanona, John Kasich, and Basil Smikle. Appreciate all of you. And there are new questions this morning about the Trump administration's refugee policy after 59 white South Africans were welcomed into the United States as refugees on Monday. The administration claiming they were subject to racial discrimination at home, an allegation the South African government denies. This all coming almost simultaneously with the Department of Homeland Security revealing plans to terminate protected status for Afghans who aided the U.S. in its war against the Taliban. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez joins us now from Washington. Gabe, this action is highly controversial. In fact, the Episcopal Church, which for decades has helped with refugees, announced it will not assist in resettling these newly arrived Afrikaner refugees, citing moral reasons. What happens now that they're here? Do we know what led up to them getting refugee status, how this all went down?
Well, Anna, as you said, this is highly controversial. And yes, the refugees arrived at Dulles, as you mentioned. They're going to be sent to 10 other states, boarding planes there to be resettled. And this is all part of what the Trump administration says that it wants to do for this group because of what it says is racial discrimination in South Africa. Of course, this group was responsible for apartheid rule, and the government in South Africa vehemently denies there's any racial discrimination or any sort of genocide going on, which is what the president said yesterday. He was asked about this yesterday at the White House. Here's what he said.
Farmers are being killed. They happen to be white, but whether they're white or black makes no difference to me. But white farmers,
you a goddamn lie,
brutally killed, and their land is being confiscated in South Africa. I don't care who they are. I don't care about their race, their color. I don't care about their height, their weight. I don't care about anything. I just know that what's happening is terrible.
Again, the South African government denies that allegation. Now, Anna, I asked White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller about this resettlement late last week, and he said he justified this by saying that this is what the refugee resettlement program was supposed to be for, racial discrimination and not economic poverty. And we should note this comes as the Trump administration has essentially sealed off the country from other refugees, including Black Sudanese fleeing genocide there, and also Latin Americans fleeing violent gangs in their countries. On
There's also what's happening with the Afghan population. What more can you tell us about the administration ending deportation protections for Afghans?
Yeah, that's right. The Department of Homeland Security yesterday announced that it was ending temporary protected status, and that could affect up to 14,000 Afghans who are living in the U.S. Now, TPS, temporary protected status, allows immigrants to live and work in the United States without fear of deportation. But the Trump administration has been reducing that for a number of different groups, including immigrants from countries such as Cuba and Haiti. Yesterday, though, we learned that they were about to do that starting in July for Afghans. And this, some veterans groups are very upset by this because those Afghan refugees, in many cases, had worked with the U.S. During the war, and also would face persecution from the Taliban if they were to return to their home country. On